This video is about nearly getting sepsis.
Sepsis is life-threatening, caused by the body's extreme response to infection. For someone like me, a stage 4 cancer patient, a septic injury can rapidly lead to organ failure and death if not caught promptly. I'll share my personal experience with a hand injury that became septic, putting my life at risk. You'll see how a routine situation escalated without me realising until medics spotted my hand and wanted to admit me for IV antibiotics. I narrowly avoided hospitalisation by agreeing to oral antibiotics, but with strict monitoring.
I don't normally do much in the kitchen, but one day I was trying to cut some cacao paste when the knife slipped and deeply slashed my knuckle. We cleaned and dressed it at home, and I went straight off to my cancer yoga class, but they sent me to minor injuries. After being seen, they dressed my hand with steri strips and gave me supplies to change the dressing. But then they accidentally took back those supplies when they discovered I had a latex allergy. I went back to minor injuries just to get my dressings changed, but this probably saved my life.
So I've just got back from minor injuries and they've checked it again and they think it is infected because it's got more puffy from here to here, and they can see it's difficult to see here, but they can see like a redness like this.
Due to my medical history, their first reaction was that they wanted to admit me for IV antibiotics. I managed to persuade them to give me oral Clarithromycin. I was warned if the shadow on my hand spread any further, I'd have to be hospitalised.
I'm like, I really don't want to take antibiotics, but I can't take any chances with sepsis, you know.
The antibiotics did start working. As you can see in this video, my hand went from being so swollen I couldn't bend my wrist to slowly gaining more flexibility as the infection receded. However, taking even oral antibiotics was wiping out my gut biome, something I'd worked so hard to cultivate over the past year through diet changes that had driven amazing results against my cancer. I started experiencing serious anxiety, which was new for me. To counter this side effect, while I was still on a restricted intake of my daily pills, I reintroduced daily lactobacillus reuteri probiotic pills and increased my intake of fermented foods. Research showed that clarithromycin would likely continue nuking the beneficial bacteria in my gut for 5 weeks. I knew the arduous task that was ahead of me in rebuilding it. On Christmas Day, we had a big family gathering with about 16 people, with everyone bringing dishes to share. We needed to get a larger table out to accommodate everyone. Despite being told by my doctors not to lift anything heavy since that can trigger my pancreatitis, and my hands having less dexterity after chemo, and my husband telling me not to help, I tried to help move the table. But I didn't have a proper grip and I ended up crushing my injured hand on the cut and smashing my finger again. I felt so upset, anxious and frustrated that this had happened after making progress healing from the initial injury, so this setback was extremely disheartening.
Facing sepsis is extremely serious when you've got stage 4 cancer. Even if your cancer's under control, you're at a much higher risk of life-threatening infections, so you have to be specially careful. But it was just luck that minor injuries caught my septic hand in time before it escalated.
My hand ultimately healed well, but I was beginning to question whether reducing my supplements had been a great idea due to the coughs and the septic hand.
The final straw came when a lung x-ray, which I'll share in my next video, identified an inflamed lung nodule. At that point, I knew I needed to increase my supplements again. This bit of my journey has not been straightforward.
But if you'd like to follow along, please subscribe to She Dares Live. See you next time.